Upadhi means degree. Degree of knowledge is being issued by university. But there are so many degrees you carry. The degrees are like mother is a degree, father is a degree, sister is a degree, right? A businessman is a degree, daughter is a degree, because they are addendum to your barren maiden personality, right? They define some specific qualities in you which are not with others. That is why they are called upadhis. Now this mother upadhi, mother is an outcome of having a upadhi of daughter or son. Son or daughter is upadhi. By that upadhi a mother is born. Mother is not a upadhi, right? Your degree is your production. That is your degree. Your degree is your business. Your degree is whatever you have achieved in the outer world, right? So with the upadhi of a son, a man becomes a father. With the upadhi of a wife, the man becomes a husband. With the upadhi of a father, the man becomes a son, right? With the upadhi of the son, man becomes the father. With the upadhi of father, the man becomes a son. With the upadhi of a friend, this person becomes a friend. With the upadhi of the business, this person becomes a businessman. So on, so forth. So, mete sakal upadhi. Mete sakal upadhi. Mritak hoye so sadhu. First thing is, the mritak is the one who is already dead, a walking dead. Dead means not exactly physically, biologically dead. Dead to upadhis, dead to his specific adjectives. That is where you have to be dead. Not exactly, that means you don't have to become senseless, right? You have to keep your senses, keep your wisdom. Still, you should not attach yourself to those. That is mritak. Correct? So, mete sakal upadhi means you may have a son or daughter or father or a business, does not matter. But these upadhis should not govern your behavior. And which behavior? Of course, with the son you will behave like a mother or father. Of course, with your father you will behave like a son or a daughter, right? But where this difference has to come? When you relate to yourself. Understand? Your own relationship with the self should be devoid of all the upadhis. Got it? Understand? So upadhis are necessary. They will continue. Even Guru has a upadhi of Chela. That is why he is called Guru. But when he relate to himself, he is devoid of that upadhi. When he relates with himself, when he wants to be with himself, he has to drop that upadhi out. A guru cannot be in any way superior if he is not able to forget that he is a guru. Only in forgetting that he is a guru, he becomes a guru. Because guru word adds a lot of ego to the person. And many at times you may have seen that many teachers have prohibited their students to call them guru. They have said that I would better be called as a friend, a guide, or just a teacher, not the guru. Right? Got it? So this upadhi, you have to see that you do not start deriving pleasure out of it, ego out of it, create a construct around it. Right? So you should know that I am, despite everything, that I am is not recognized by or clouded by any of these upadhis. Okay. So what does it mean? Further he says, Tasu Dev Asa Kare. Even gods start expecting some favors from such a person. Even gods start expecting some favors from such a person. And only such a person Satguru ko bhavai. Only such a person is dear to the Supreme. Satguru, whenever it is used, Supreme. Right? That's Supreme. And when we say Kabir is Sadguru, of course, that essence of Kabir is Supreme. And exactly, it is true for everyone. The essence of your being is Sat. The one who takes you towards Sat is that force which is called Guru. And therefore, Sat Guru means the one who is given in this understanding from Veda. Asato ma sadgamaya. Asato ma sadgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. This is the whole aspect of Guru. Essentially, everything, everyone, each individual consciousness is Sat only. But the one who can gradually or by a push or by a kick can transport you from your darkness, that is ignorance, to the recognition of that light which is Sat, your true nature, or the nature of the true nature of everything. It begins with understanding your own true nature. But once you have rooted yourself in that understanding and further contemplate, you are essentially progressing towards a point where you will see that this essence is everywhere. So you see that essence everywhere. That's the ultimate. But you begin with this understanding, this realization that Sat is my essence and Chit is my Shakti to perceive myself. And in this perception there is Ananda. Beyond that, everything else is Sukha Dukkha. Sat is your essence. Chit is the Shakti to know that it exists. You exist as Sat. And the experience derived out of this is Ananda. The growth of it is Ananda. And beyond that, if you are rooted in Ananda, then you are not left immobilized. When you are rooted in Ananda, rather that is the time when you will be engaged in some meaningful karma. only when you are rooted in Ananda. Your karma generally, mostly, is rooted in lack of Ananda. When Ananda recedes, you have a desire. So all your karma begins at that point when your Ananda recedes. You act only when you find that there is no Ananda. And let me tell you, the this particular Ananda is always available because existentially you are always there as Sat. You always have this capacity to cognize yourself. You have not become numb. You have not become blind. That simply means you have not become senseless. Chit Shakti is operating all the time, 24/7. So when you are asleep, you know that you are asleep. Later on, of course, but you know in a different way. It's rooted little bit in ignorance, but you know. It is also ignorance. Sleep is deepest ignorance. Dream is little bit less ignorance, and the waking is a further little bit lesser ignorance. Everything is ignorance. Yet, when you are awake in the dreaming or in the deep sleep, this Chit Shakti continues to function. Correct? And therefore, you can't say that Ananda cannot be created. You are free to create Ananda at any moment. The only thing is, you'll have to drop your desires. And how do you drop your desires? By not identifying the presence, not identifying your being related to something which you see, perceive outside. That means you should not identify your being even as your body, because the moment you become your body, the body is an upadhi, which creates the person you are. Understand? Upadhi is not always outside. This upadhi is sufficient to create some persona in you. A mask. Persona means mask. Personae, mask. A mask through which you can't see the real face. Therefore, upadhi at all the levels, of course it has to go. But where do you begin with? You begin with the outer world. You begin with, because not all the times you are aware of your body. But of course you are aware of something which is outside you, and because of that you continuously operate this body and mind relating to that whatever you perceive. And therefore all the systems, whatever it may be, they will ask you to close your eyes. What does that mean? Close your eyes means what? Shut down your senses to the world, so that you are no more connected with that, at least for a moment. When you know how to connect with that source of Sat in you, then later you can even keep your eyes closed or open, does not matter. How? Exactly the same way as you started to learn driving. Close your eyes, whatever is happening around. Focus on the gear shift, focus on the steering, focus on everything. This is what you learn. And once you are perfected that art, you can keep your eyes open, you can even look around, there's no problem. This has become not subconscious competence. So this subconscious competence of connecting to Sat is very much simple. I think it is not so difficult. Only problem is becoming a mritak and letting go your upadhis. Right. Right, Nandita? सही है. So
If only,
upadhis you have to. Yeah.
if only it was so easy. That is the struggle.
No, it is so easy. You do it every day. Ajay, tell me, when you sleep, do you really remember who you are?
No.
And for 1/3 of your 24 hour is wasted like that, or goes like that when you don't remember who you are. But and you are perfectly fine with that. But if I tell you, are you perfectly fine with that? The world around you moves on, continues to relate with you the way you want. You are asleep. Your relatives in India are awake then. You are sleeping. But you exist equally as an as a person for them while they are awake. So your state of consciousness does not deter your relationship or does not obstruct your relationship with the world. Continue to exist the way they relate with you. Yes or no? Just think. It is good that you are in US. You can appreciate this. So while you are asleep, you are still being related with, and you are okay with that, right? Do
Yeah.
you ever feel that I should not sleep because when I sleep, I lose all these relationships? When I sleep, I don't remember them. I lose my house, my car, my identity, my children, anything. Do you really become fearful that if I sleep, I lose? Or of course you lose. But there is this faith. What is that? That I will get up and and these things will be available to me. And when I say, while you are awake, just drop it for half an hour, you become fearful. And you say, how can I leave that? I can't stop being a mother. I can't stop being a wife. I can't stop being a daughter, and so on and so forth. I can't stop being owner of a car. I can't stop being the so and so forth. Does not matter what it is. But when you are asked to drop every association with awareness in your knowledge, you don't do it. You don't do it. So either accept this particular thing that you sleep, you never sleep. You are made to sleep by the nature. Otherwise, you won't sleep. And I'll tell you, this is true. If you were allowed, you would not sleep. If you had even minutest of control, because this is a great fear. When you are slipping in that state of consciousness, and this happens, people who become too fearful are unable to sleep. Just look at your life moments and maybe some life incidents when you were so fearful that you could not sleep. The fear of losing something, fear of losing someone was so intense that you thought, if I sleep, I'll not be able to hold them. I'll not able to be able to grab them. While you are awake, you have this ego trip. You are on an ego trip that if something is happening, you will be able to do something. So, if such a fear is overpowering you, what will happen? You will not be able to sleep also. Exactly this. So, what does not necessarily help you in your self search is your fear. So, get rid of it. Courageous. Be courageous enough. This is it. So, it is simple, but as he has said, that you have to become Virla Sur. You have to become that Virla Sur, means that rare, brave person who is capable of letting go this. And somewhere, it is to be seen like the knowledge of self is basically the art of dying while you are alive, fully alive. The art of dying. And in the same way, he is saying, Mritak. Okay? He's using exactly the same phenomenon. He says, Mritak. You have to become Mritak first. You have to learn to die. Die to what? Die to the associations you have created. Die to what? To upadhis which you are holding on to. Misidentifications. Right? Misidentification. Maya. Right? What is misidentification? Maya. Moh. Right? So now, he says, Metay sakal upadhi tasu dev asa karen. Even gods, demigods, they look up to such a person. They are in the queue. They are in the queue outside your house. Right? Okay. Further he says, Sadhu marg kathina dharma dasu rahani gahe so sadhu sunasu. He says, Sadhu marg kathina dharma dasu rahani gahe so sadhu sunasu. Acha. Some of these words are too old to comprehend. The language is of 500 years back almost. So a lot has changed. And further, he belonged to a social strata where the language not as polished. So it becomes really difficult to sometimes understand what exactly each and every word means, but the feeling we get. Because first thing it is clear, sadhu marag kathin dharmadasu rahani gahe. Rahani means how. Rahani means the way you live your life, the way to conduct yourself. Rahani gahe, so sadhu sunasu. That means you should not give your advice. You should not give your advice to all and sundry. You have to offer it only to those who are ready to change their way of living. Rahani gahe so sadhu sunasu. That means only you should offer your words, offer such a lifestyle only to the one, only to a sadhu who has already become a mritak. Then only you should tell. Even if he has not become mritak, but he is ready to listen. And not only listen, ready to follow. Rahani gahe. That means he must adopt to that lifestyle, adopt to those way of dealing with the world, dealing with the self. It should be told to them. Such people deserve. Such people are eligible. Others are not. Right? Others are not. So, and in the beginning itself, he says, Sadhu Marg Kathin. I am saying it is saral, it is simple. Kathin means filled with, interpolated with hardships, so much obstacle, too much effort. Kathin means this. And I am saying simple, very easy, natural, born with you. It's born with you. That is why it is called Sahaj. Sahaj means the one, Sah, Ja. Sah means with, Ja means the, Ja is the root for creation or creation, you can say, multiplication. For example, ja word comes in jan. When you say jan means people. We see janan. Janan means the the act of giving birth. When you create jan, it becomes janan. And a specific process will be known as prajanana. Okay. And the one who does it will be known as janani. So understand. So Kathin Dharam. He says Kathin. And whatever way he is narrating it, you can take it as Kathin also, and you can take it Saral also. That means simple also, difficult also, easy also. But it is necessary for the teacher to tell the hardships in the beginning. It must be taught. It must be told. It must be clearly defined that not easy, you see. Why not easy? Because of your own traits, because of your own upadhis, because of your own old habits. You know? Hard means kathin, hard, difficult. And what is hard here? Your old habits, which are going. And the saying goes like this: old habits die hard. Simple. So this is why it is difficult. Otherwise, it is not difficult. It is very easy. Provided you can overcome your habits. Your habits are coming in the way. And your habits are not about how you dress, what you eat, and how you walk, how you talk. These are very superficial things. Your habit of not being able to look within while you are engaged in the world. This is the habit. If you inculcate, it will become easy. Because only this habit will change everything. Correct? Only this habit. See, for example, if somebody comes to you and asks, give me some tips, some techniques to improve my relationship with my partner. Okay. You guide him. Next month, or let's say next quarter, that person again comes back and say, give me certain tips to improve my relationship with my father. Okay, you give it. Then he comes back again. Give me some tips to improve my relationship with my son. What does that mean? Either he is not getting the essence of it, because there are only few tips which will take care of everything, every relationship, right or not? Once you have that, every relationship will be taken care of. You don't need to ask for separate tips for each and every relationship. In the same way, a new habit of looking within, dropping upadhis, will change everything else. You don't have to find how do I leave my attachment towards my son, or towards my property, towards my parents. You may ask, and maybe people are there who will also guide you that you can do this to create detachment with your property, detachment through in your relationships, detachment with your own self-image, and so on and so forth. So these things can be, everything will be a project for you. A new project, new set of rules, new things to be done, new techniques to be followed, new visualizations to be done, new skills to be learned. But one skill you learn and everything is taken care of. Like, look within, divide off your upadhis. At least you operate from that particular space where you are free of upadhis. If you are able to touch base with that real self, which is not, you know, contaminated by the number of degrees you hold. If you even touch base with that essence of yours, even for even for few moments, you will know exactly, intuitively, how to respond to a situation wisely, appropriately, and most effectively. Otherwise, your whole act of relating will become difficult. You'll have to learn new techniques, how to improve relationship with my husband, how to relieve, and so many books can be written about it. How to improve your relationships with your boss, how to improve your relationship with your siblings or son, and so on and so forth. But one thing can solve, one attitude, one change in attitude, one practice, it can resolve everything. Only we need not leave any habit. Now, we need not leave any of these habits, right? For example, in a dark room, you have four corners. You say, give me a method to light up this corner, light up that corner, light up this corner. What do you say? Just burn, light up a lamp. Every corner will be lit up. Simple. You don't have to make special arrangements to light up all the corners. Just one lamp is sufficient. In the same way, your awareness, your deeper connect, your occasional and frequent. I'm not saying you always need to be connected. You continual connect with that no degree space, no degree zone in your being will empower you and will transform everything around you. All your pains, all your sufferings, all your attachments will gradually vanish if you recognize it, if you imbibe this into your daily lifestyle, daily routine, right?